Hello everyone, this is Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and I was going to do this hashtag Friday sews yesterday on Friday, but after going to two grocery stores and Joann's, I was just so wore out and both of my knees were giving me trouble. So I'm going to go through my what I've been sewing, and then I'll talk about some other things, and I do have a small haul and a little happy mail that I'm going to wait and well, I'll add that to this video. So I'm hoping everybody can hear me. My son is getting ready to leave to a gathering at friends. And what we're going to do is I'm going to do this Friday sews. I'm going to end this and then wait a little bit. And then Scott and I are going to do a Goodwill haul in a separate video. Anyway, let me start with what I've been sewing. I've been kind of caught up in the K3N Cloth Tales Catherine's, some of her projects. In fact, I forgot to get one of those. Hi, Mary Lou. I forgot this. Almost forgot. And I can't remember the proper names for these things, but this is a little round pin cushion, and you make it with, I think it's called a biscarnou. You make it with two squares, and you stitch and then turn it and stitch, and it goes up and down around. So you can see there's a corner to one of the squares and there's a corner to the next and around. Hang on, Howard thinks he's trapped because I got the dining room door closed. Oh my goodness, you are not trapped. So now he'll do that to Scott on the other side of the door. So anyway, I made this. And hi, Angela and Marty. And then everybody's been seeing this other project on my Instagram and Facebook, but I finished it. And this is the Japanese rice bag. And I led a prompt game on how, and we created this fabric. This started as just a big piece of muslin. And we did, I think, 10 prompts on it. And I've done a bunch of hand stitching. Hi, Renee. So I put January 2024 and my initials on the bottom. And then on each side, I have embroidery and buttons. It's hard to do this. This right here was sent to me by Allie Cousins. And it's just a little tag, and it's just pinned on there. And I added beads, which you can see the beads kind of shiny there. And, I looked through my metal pieces, and this has the definition of love on it. So I just pinned it on there too. I pinned a bunch of different things. And I made this twisted rope with some of the leftover fabric that I used for a lining. I need to rewatch her video because I tied knots, and I don't think Catherine tied knots. I think she stitched, like a strip, and then I think she stitched them at the end so that when she twisted hers, it was real smooth. And I know somebody else in Catherine's Facebook group posted that they did theirs on their spinning wheel, and theirs turned out to look like real yarn, and it was really pretty. But I was just kind of hanging mine on the knobs to one of the drawers on there and then twisting it by hand. But it still works. And I'll open it up and show you what's inside in a bit. I put a little sewing machine charm on here and more beads. And then this is right there is a charm that says dream on the dream heart. And on this side, my son, the smart aleck that he is, thought this said something else. So if you replace the S with a B, he thought that's what this bag was. So anyway, whatever. It could be my stitch bag or my, bag. But anyway, I also included on here this little heart that Ann Lahr made for me. Ann Lahr made that for me. So I pinned that on. So you can decorate your bags up even more once you get them made. And then the last page, the last side, has a little charm of a little girl that was just in with my beads. So I just stitched her on there. So this was a project that I'm in love with, and I will definitely use it. Let's see if I can find the tail. And then it just opens up. And you can see where I hand stitched. And this is what did my hands in, is doing all this hand stitching. Because when you get to the corners, that's really, really thick. But I've got my tiny scraps in there. And I told Safia the other day, I got a proper pair of scissors to stick in the little pocket. And they fit in there perfect. So now the next project I want to do as far as slow stitching is I want to make one of Catherine's little sewing pouches. I think she did one, and Kate at the last Homely House, she also did like this envelope that you could put things in, like a pack of needles and thread and stuff, and it folded up and then tied closed. I thought I'd make one, something like that, to put in there. So everything I would need to do a small stitch project would be in this bag. And you can see where my knot tails are poking out, and I'm just going to leave it because I still think it's cool. But to add on to this project, I had scraps left over, and I'll show you what I'm doing. I got a couple almost done, but I had scraps, just little pieces, offcuts. So I'm cutting these into 1-inch strips, and I'm folding them over the non-pinning side of a safety pin. And the reason these safety pins look funny is they're actually for quilters, so that you can go through all the layers, and this will come back up and you can pin it. So I'm going to send these to anybody that lets me know that they did the project with me. So I know Joyce Boring said she did, and Heather, and then Mary. And Mary's making a journal cover, not a bag, but she can still pin this on there. So that's what I've got so far. And I told Scott I want to add some beading to these as well. But I've got a bunch just sitting here. Here's the other one. And these are just scraps left over. And I've got them on my little tray here. You thought Shannon made one? I don't think so. I don't know. I'll have to get with her. Let me come and say hi to everybody. You saw Kate's? Yeah, it's pretty. All right. So I made the biscarnu, the Japanese rice bag. They are both inspired by and shown how to do by K3N Cloth Tales. That's Catherine. So I will go back and put her link in again to just get you to her channel. Now, do y'all remember my list? Can you see? This is what I was going to try to accomplish in January. Do you see how many are crossed off? Just one. Well, guess what? We can now cross off the to make 2 quilted totes from the bin squares that I rescued. Remember all those little, I think they were 4.5 or 5-inch squares, and I had sewn them all together. Well, I took them all apart, well, most of the way apart, and I've made 2 tote bags. So I made this one, and these were the squares from the bins, and then the belting. This green belting was thrifted. And then this fabric here was from my stash. And the parts that I cut away to do these corners on the bottom of this, I turned into an internal pocket on the inside. So there's a pocket on the inside. It's not very deep, but it would hold a pair of scissors. So there's that one. Oh, and I did do I used one of the decorative stitches on my sewing machine. Let's see if I can find one that's easier to see. There. So I got that one. And then the second one I made is here. And I think I bought the belting at Joann's for a different project. And so it's become something else, but it's been used. So again, I boxed the corners. Hi, Pixie Cora. And it has...
I didn't understand that.
I don't care. Go away. And I did internal pocket too on this one. There. So this one is going to someone. This one already has a home. And I did the decorative stitching on this one, but I chose a different stitch. It's easiest to see on the purple, I think. There you go. And that was fun to do there. So that's all the sewing I got done, but I'm thrilled to have something else colored off on my list. I am working on the mixed yarn afghan. I'm hoping to get that done before next Friday. I'll have to look and see what else is on here. I want to get that other curtain lined in our bedroom. That one would be an easy one for me to do. I might do that tomorrow. So the next thing I have is a very small haul from Joann's. They are still running the Last Chance fabrics 70% off the Last Chance price. So I got some of that and a remnant. So let me show you the remnant. And it's 0.444 of a yard. And they're doing 75% off remnants instead of the 50. So I got this for like a little over $1. So it's not quite a half a yard. I'm going to throw that away. I don't need that paper stuff. But I saw this in there and I want to add it to my quilting fabrics just because it's so pretty. And this to me would make a great lining on a bag because it's light colored. I hate bags with dark lining because if you're in some place and you're trying to find something, I don't know about the rest of you, but the dark lining just makes it hard to find your keys, your credit card, whatever you're trying to find. You can't find it in a dark lined bag. Then let's go through the fabrics. These are Last Chance fabrics. So this one I got a half a yard of because it's got cats playing band instruments. Isn't that cute? And I thought how nice this would be to add to the quilt stash. I have a box that's nothing but cat fabrics. Does that surprise you? They always happen when you have no money. Yeah. And they got in a bunch of new Last Chance fabric. So this was in there. And I went ahead and I got a yard of this one. And this I got because I thought it would make some really cool pencil cases for friends. So that'll be added to my list in another month or so. I'm going to finish some of this stuff that's already in this crate. So there was that one. And then this one here was really cool. And I thought the two together, you know, like you can make the outside of the bag with the darker one and then line it with this one. I thought that would make really cool pencil bags or, you know, stitch bags, whatever. So those were those. Then I found back there on that messy table that you know, all the Joann's have a messy table. That's where all the Last Chance fabric is. They had some batiks, and because I've used so many of them for the Sweet Dreams quilt that's still in process. Hi, Joyce Boring. I wanted to build my batiks back up. So I got a few. I got this one here. I think this is the right side of it. Got this one. It's got a flowers and leaf print in it. That'll be a nice addition to my batik box. Trying to collect so I can make another batik quilt. And then this one was really pretty too. Here. And yes, they are that, but vibrant and vivid. And then this one was pricier than the other two, but it's because it's one of those that's like 108 inches wide. It's like super wide. So this is doubled again. It might be 90 inches wide, but it's just a nice blue. And I thought that's a good deal. So there's that one. Then, oh, wait, one more. This one, I just told her, just let me have what's left because look at, isn't it cute? Little bicycles. I want to make a shirt with this. Because I thought how cute a shirt that would be. And then if I make myself a pair of blue overalls that are shorts, I could wear the two together next summer. This is kind of thin cotton. That's the only thing about the Last Chance fabric at Joann's. You got to really take your time. And when you're in there, before you get to the cutting counter, do this. Get one layer of it and hold it up to the light. This one's pretty sheer, but for a shirt, it'll be okay. I wish they'd had just a little bit more of this. Yes, I have. I have aprons. We made an apron together on my channel one time, and I've made one of the granny style aprons. I'm not sure where it is right now, but it crosses in the back, so it actually covers you everywhere, and it has pockets. I have a pattern for that one. Not my own pattern, but like Simplicity or whatever. But yes, I've made aprons. All right. Now, the Valentine's fabric is 50% off. And I got a half a yard of this because it's just too stinking cute not to. Look at the truck. So I got half a yard of that one. You have a love affair with aprons. And then this one I got a half a yard of because I was thinking I could cut the hearts out and applique them onto hearts of love. And they have gold around each heart. So these were 50% off. And then the last thing I got at Joann's was 2 spools of Anchor embroidery floss. These are like 79 cents. And then she let me use a 40% and a 50% off coupon. So I got these even less than that. So these were like almost free. But I got them in 2 different blues, a really dark blue and a lighter blue. And I'm going to try to do some visible mending on Scott's jeans. You know, just do a grid and then weave across back and forth. We'll see what luck I have. Hi, Nina. So I got that there. And let's see. I think that's all of my sewing update. On my list of sewing here, I have lunch totes. I should do that. And I got a bunch of other things. But this is the list that I made up to finish in January. I have a few more days. I've got like 4 days left in January. And so I might work on some of this. I'm really pushing to finish the mixed yarn Afghan. The pink baby sweater can be crocheted pretty quick too. The only thing that's going to take me time is to figure out where I left off and what size was I making. That'll be the real kicker there, because it's been years, probably over 10 since I started that sweater. So next Friday, I'm hoping to come and share some more sewn things. I will go ahead and open some Happy Mail that I got from Dee Dee, because it's kind of sewing related if I think it is. If I'm right about what I'm thinking it is. And there's Angie. Hi, Angie. Hi, Beth. All right, let's, that's a bloomin' cool stamp. Look at that stamp. Oop. So let me see what Dee Dee sent me. And Scott and I will come back on in just a few minutes or so. And we'll do our Goodwill haul. We had some wicked storms today, and I've just been sitting and crocheting all day or holding cats because they were flipping out over that storm. Hi, Nanette. So let's see what Dee Dee sent me. You can come up, Callie. Dee Dee believes in tape. I don't blame her. I've received packages that have been popped open. All right. All righty. So she wrapped it up in some pretty paper with some crosses on it. I'm going to snip the tape so I can reuse the paper. Uh-oh. I think she was hinting she was sending me a prayer pouch. Oh, she sent me the one with the cherries on it. See there? Oops. I can't tell which way's up today. And then she gave me a little prayer. This is a prayer pocket, so it's got prayers in it. So that was very sweet of her. Some healing prayers for my knees. Scott says the doctor's going to tell us we need surgery. He can barely walk. We're quite a pair when we leave the house. We're trying to see who can hold who up. So isn't this pretty? And I was thinking I could hang it back here. It's got this big long cord on it, and there's actually a lip up here. And I can hang it up there and enjoy it and have it here next to me. And it's right by the Barbies. I'll have to turn you guys so you can see where I hung it. I'll just tip you back. See it up there on the top next to the Barbie? I'll have to move my Create, but that's okay. I'll move it. All right. So that was very sweet of our Dee Dee. Thank you, Dee Dee. So anybody that's here for Friday Sews that doesn't know who I'm talking about, it's Dee Dee Willingham, and she's an artist. And on this channel, I sew, I quilt, I cook, I do art, I do mixed media, I do all kinds of things. So if you're here for sewing, I'm sorry, but you're going to get a mixed bag toward the end. But I did share my sewing. So I guess I'll let you guys go. And then I'll round up Scott and get him set up. And we'll just do a real quick, just chit chat. So if you've got any questions or any of that, bring them to the next video. All right. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.